Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is KarQ. Welcome to the KarQives, the KarQ Archives channel, where I upload a bunch of other stuff away from my main channel. Most of it is going to be ripped from my Twitch stream at twitch.tv/KarQ. This is live coaching or live replay reviewing. If you want your gameplay coached or reviewed by me, just join my stream, twitch.tv/KarQ. You're going to build up the loyalty points by just watching while I'm live. And once you get 50,000 loyalty points, you can just redeem a gameplay review by me. So today we have gameplay submitted by Tenniscrazed, who's playing some Mercy on what looks like Nepal. The date is currently September 15th, 2020, for reference on what patch we're playing on. This is the meta where I don't know what the hell people are playing. People play anything and everything. Like we've got Ryan Roadhog. What does the enemy team have? Sigma Zarya. You know what I mean? But anyways, ooh, nice super jumping in the spawn. I like that. I like that. At the time of this recording, I don't know what rank Tenniscrazed is or Vario is. So I'm going in this blind. I actually I don't like, obviously when you watch this video on YouTube, you'll know the rank, but when I do these live reviews, I like not knowing what rank they are because it kind of like closes out that bias. Like, oh, this is gold. Then I already think like, oh, gold players should be doing this, this, this. I'm just looking at it objectively based on what I see. I think they should be doing this, this, this. And hopefully that's more impactful than me just having that rank bias in my head. Okay. So obviously not much is going on here. You're kind of just chilling. So you think, who do you damage boost? Roadhog, probably not so much here. I'd probably damage boost this Mercy, or sorry, your Anna right now. Stay around this corner. So you see the Pharah spamming. You just hug this corner. That's fine. You're pocketing the Anna. You guys want left side. All right, he's dead. All right, we're doing Ryan. You have to go up behind the stairs here. Since you're Ryan, so positionally, if you already kind of lost one or two already. What are these colors? What is going on? Okay, you lost your Doom earlier. You lost your Roadhog. You see this guy's low. He's cracked. His shield's cracked and he's backing up. You kind of have to respond to what your tanks are doing because your only line of cover for Mercy is either a shield or a wall. This shield's gonna break, so you kind of have to immediately in your mind start retreating. Up here. You made it out safely. You just dodged this Doom, but that's danger. You're just gonna heal here for ult charge. That's about all you can do. You're kind of just screwed. That's fine. You gotta have to reset here. Yeah, the colors are really weird right now. You're gonna have to ignore this new patch kind of messed up the replay.
Back in the fight. I'm here.
Oh, it's fixed now. Okay, nice. Yeah, their Doom ignored you as a Mercy, which is interesting, but we're not focusing on what the Doom does. Okay, so you get away from that orb. You kind of just hold heal beam here. Didn't have to fly. These guys are taking damage. Switch to heals here. You don't have to fly out right now. You're gonna actually be a recipient of random Pharah spam right now. Like, what there's no reason you can't really fly aggressively at this point. And like, I would probably just hang here around these stairs to break line of sight. But like, while my beam is tethered, I would just check through this window and check behind you. Like Mercy in between holding your beam, like what people say Mercy has no mechanics. Like other than moving, or once you have your beam attached, what do you really do? The rest of it comes down to you moving in between, repositioning, and just feeding your brain information. Like right here, you're just kind of lost with the rest of your team. All your sight lines are funneled into here. Whereas if you were playing here, you cut like the Sigma sight line, you cut that Pharah spam, you still have the beam on, but you can still move safely and you can get yourself more information for your team. You can be aware of someone flanking here to the left. You know what I mean? So like, there's no reason you have to think, I always say this, how can you still accomplish healing, especially as a support, without putting yourself in immediate danger, if that's possible? So likely here would give you cover and provide you with more information. The alternative is here, but like you kind of you can get kind of fucking owned. This Pharah puts like a decent concussive here. When you're kind of locking yourself out here, it's easier to get spammed from this angle from here anyways. This Pharah can actually still land a rocket through that door, so I still think this would have been better to kind of chill with. You pop Valk here. I think your Rhine shattered. You just go for it. Wow, you got 2 off that. Yeah, there you go. You got the Valk off. Just go for the heals. Right there, as soon as you see that Doom drop, you should change the healing target right here. He's pretty full and he's getting healed by your Ana. So as soon as the Doom drops there, you got to check for the rest of your team. What's happening below you? The tank should be okay. If your Ana's okay, then the Rhine will be okay because your Ana's going to be healing your Rhine. But if you're up here doing this, you kind of like ditch the rest of your team. Just like, at least if you don't, if you should just be looking. Like, I know you turned now, but the first thing I do in Valkyrie is, because the beam has such a more forgiving range in Valk, I'll keep it attached, but I'll like just look around, right? Because it doesn't detach. You have that 3-second buffer. So you're flying in the air, you got that mobility, and you keep checking. Feed yourself information, more game sense. The more information, the better calculated your decisions can be. You can go for that res there, I think. Is that your team's body? Oh no, it might be the enemy's, my bad. I think you can look around a lot more. That'll help a lot. You gotta be careful. Fly to that Ana, I think. Or I guess super jump here, I guess. But he's gonna be dead. Come around the corner, come around the corner. You can't go for those res. I think you guys already lost 3. Ooh, that's gonna be tough. Might be able to make it out. Yeah, you heard that Doom to your left. You gotta fly inside. You got the super jump mechanic down though. That's really impressive. That was a really ballsy res. He ended up dying anyways. I think you probably should have just conceded, just to reset a bit quicker. It kind of stalled out the fight a little bit more. Ooh, what is happening here? Yeah, you have to be careful of reses. If it's like 6 versus 3 convincingly, like resing just like pretty much sets them up to just die right away again, and it just feeds. You should switch to damage boost the moment your Rhine, after the Rhine shatters and he's going for the fire strike, you get to switch to that damage boost to help him with that burst. That's okay, that's minor. I forget to do that sometimes too. Oh, this one's tough. Switch like right there as well. Like the moment your Roadhog lands the hook, just stop what you're doing, flip to the Roadhog, just flick a damage boost onto him, and then switch back to whoever you're healing. Switching to damage boost when you know the timing of a lot of abilities is really important. Like, for example, that Rhine gets a hook, or the Roadhog gets a hook, it's very easy to hear that, flick damage boost, go back to what you're doing, because you know the timing. It was like boop, the hook, then the shot. You hear the Rhine shatter, he drops his shield, and you hear him go hurrah! Right when he starts that hurrah, you can flick that damage boost to him, and then flick back to what you're doing, and just amplify what your team is doing, enable them a bit more. That's some minor mechanical things that you can keep in mind for next time. But overall, in that first round, I'd say number 1 is look around more for more information. Number 2, use cover. I think a lot of the times, like, you move forward to attach the beam, but then you hang around there for a bit too long. Frame rate cap is 400. Yeah, but I can barely keep 200, so. Okay. What? Half your... what? Wait. Who's going where? Okay, whatever. Stick with the Ashe. That's fine. You guys did a 3-3 split. Oh my god, I'm so scared. I feel like you guys are going to get caught out here. Okay, your team came back main. I know you're just damage boosting him, but... yeah, honestly, that's fine. Just keep damage boosting. Your Ana's pocketing your Rhine pretty well. Do you guys have a pick? So right here, same idea as earlier, right? You can still accomplish this pocketing, but without throwing yourself right here. This entire sequence could have been done behind that wall here, behind this piece of cover. So as soon as this is happening, what I would do is I would chill here, hug one of these walls like this. You can keep this tether beam on either your Ashe or your McCree. If your Ashe is going a little too deep, then you hug to the left. See, it looks like that's happening. You hug to the wall until it looks like your beam's about to detach. Then if you need to cross, then you use that Guardian Angel speed to cross. But you should never like waltz in the middle here to try to walk across, because you can just get shot down real easily. You were a victim of a dynamite here. If that Ashe hit another shot, you're probably dead, right? You know what I mean? Like this Ashe just happened to miss there, but that won't happen in the future. There's definitely a moment to kind of just lay back, still do what you need to do with a damage booster heal behind that corner. Once the beam breaks, like you're breaking line of sight or your team is actually fully committing to the point, then you fly across. Fly across. Right. You're a squishy hero. Yeah, unless you're not a tank, so it's like you have to always find some sort of way to support you. Whether it's a wall, a health pack, or your other support.
This is not the end.
Okay, so now there's downtime. Find your DPS. That's good. Good instinct. Okay, there you go.
You needed a doctor. Damage boost engaged.
Flip into the damage boost. Hopefully pops that dynamite.
I'm taking care. You've got this.
Nice. So even while this is happening like this, same idea, you can still look around. I know you're just hiding around this corner. Honestly, if I were you, this is what I would probably do. I would probably, since they know they're not looking at me, the team fight's happening there, I would probably hold that beam there. I would just jiggle here just to see what's happening, because at this point, you're kind of just playing it off of sounds and what you see on the kill feed. Obviously, you can't see the enemy silhouettes because we're in spectator, but just knowing where everybody is will always help you make better decisions at the end of the day. But here, you're just going in completely blind. Like right there, as soon as like you start that healing and they're halfway through, I would probably turn around, just check, did anybody come out here? Like I said, we know they're all here because of the silhouettes, but common strat on this map is you send 5 here and then there's like a random hit scan or flanker that pops out here. So imagine if you were able to like heal that, turn around, just check, pop out, like, oh my god, I see a McCree. Guys, there's a McCree up here, you know? And that can change a team fight because you ruin their off angle, their position. So that's it's pretty important on Mercy, in my opinion.
We make a great team.
Like here. Now your Ashe isn't committing. You should probably move up with them here. Your Ashe is repositioning. They're kind of low health. You can probably just float down a little bit, pocket them a little bit, then fly back up. You're free to do that. It's not the worst that you didn't because you guys won the fight and your Ana's doing the rest of the healing here, but like attach a beam, then you can break the wall if you need to. Okay, your Ashe is split on that other area. You can get back to her, but you might have to pop Valk if this team fight breaks out. Yeah, you see they have a Widow, so sight lines deadly. Walls, shields. There, you switch to damage boost right there because your McCree stun dump. You want to make sure you burst it. Ooh, fly up, nice. Uh-oh, oh no. I think you kind of got lost there. Obviously, it was a bit hectic. That's okay.
Join me.
Don't worry about it. Happens.
Maintaining connection.
You're not a Mercy player, but what you're gathering from this review is be an information gatherer for your team, since Mercy is a bit more passive. Yeah, that's one way to put it, right? You can always contribute to your team in other ways besides just, just being a heal bot, right? You generally, yeah, I was gonna say, do you Valk when stuck in a grab? I'll do it at the last second. If I notice the grab is almost done and no one has died and it's still neutral, then I'll pop it at the end. But sometimes popping it early in the grab is so risky. Especially because they had 6 alive and there's like 4 of you guys in there. That's tough. Unless your team counters. Most scenarios, I would say don't use it until the absolute very end. Generally speaking, yeah, you don't. There's going to be those random moments where like it could be worth it, but yeah. Nice damage boost there. Popped off. guy's gonna pop off. Okay. You could probably, your Ashe is good, it's pocketed.
Stop now.
Nice. I would say like you could probably, you don't have to like be a permanent beam for Ashe. You can move around a bit. You don't have to be, yeah, that's good. Like right there, that's the right idea. Switch the damage boost here on those swings. Just double swing it, it's fine, still got him, but. Okay. So all the things I listed so far were good. Or all the things I said were points of criticism, constructive criticism. The next thing I would say is your movement in general. Like outside the context of the game, you seem to be, I think Havel said it in chat and I wanted to add to that. Your movement is very, very linear. It's very, very like, I'm gonna move here. I'm holding the beam here. I'm moving back. I'm gonna move left. I'm gonna move right. I'm gonna move up. You can definitely mix in a lot more randomization in your strafing, and it's easy on Mercy because you don't have to worry about like recompensating your aim. Like it's tough for newer players to learn how to like strafe and move like crazy, because as they do that, they have to learn to compensate like left, right, and re-aim relative to how they move too. So it's like two components, and respond to the enemy's movements. There's 3 parts to it, right? But for Mercy, once your beam's attached, like you could just go wild with the movements. Like you could just like just get your fingers dirty and just go all over the place, and add some crouches in there too. Manipulating your hitbox is really good, especially since you play in the open. Obviously, if we cut out the standing out in the open more often, that'll be more significant, have more of a significant impact to your gameplay. But in those times where there's no choice and you're flying to someone and you are in the open, you're getting shot at, just being able to be comfortable with a bit more of like the randomized movements will minimize the chances of you getting hit. The last thing you want to do is die as Mercy, because if somebody else dies, you bail them out. But if you die, you can't res yourself, right? So.
Ready for battle.
It goes a long way, a lot longer than you thought. Even if you're not getting shot at, just getting into the habit of doing a little dance and your own movement. Imagine preventing 1 less death per game. Across 1,000 games, you died 1,000 less times. Each death costs you 20 seconds of doing nothing in a game. That's 20,000 seconds of doing more for your team. That's like 200 more SR. You know what I mean? Maybe not, but long-term scaling. Okay, now you're in cover while you're healing. It's good. Okay, see how you're looking at the Pharah and then looking back at your team? I would actually do the opposite. Okay, let me try to explain this again. You see how you're looking at the Pharah mostly, and then checking what's happening, and then checking back on your Pharah mostly, and then checking back? What I would do is attach the beam, mostly check if your team needs help there. Since your beam's already attached, mostly keep an eye there, because you get this little health bar in the middle, so you already know whether you need to turn around and heal them here, right? So you just keep an eye here once your beam's attached, then just re-look at the Pharah every 2 seconds to make sure the beam tether doesn't break, because there's like that forgiveness time, like 3 seconds or 2 seconds. So I attach the beam, track there. I'll turn back around if that health bar in the middle looks low, but or if it ever detaches, then I'll turn around and refly to them. But yeah, do you know what I mean? Like 1.4 seconds? Okay, that's a lot less than I thought. It feels pretty long in game though. You spend more time checking the area versus looking at the person you're pocketing, just because you have this to help you out no matter where you look. It's an interesting perspective. It's gonna be very uncomfortable for you to do. I guarantee it. It's at first, because you're not used to it. You're used to just pocketing someone and kind of staring at them. But I really encourage you to look around much more. And then you can feed your team information too. I like this, how like you're flying, but then you're hiding in cover. You see your Pharah's flying there, but you put yourself off of this roof to cut the sight lines as long as you can. That's good That's pretty good. Do you prefer GA target beam? No, I have it off. I don't like that. So the opposite was like right. So this was good. This is good like this. Like how you hover to the left wall. But as soon as you're about to fly into the open like this is where you change GA targets and get past cover while you go. Whether you go here or you fly to this you can GA to this Pharah again, but then cancel it with the spacebar and glide off into this part. Sorry. Any way to, you know, stay out of line of sight. Like right. I mean, you're kind of still covered, but right about now you should be flying. Oh wait, never mind. You did it. And then you glide past. Sorry, I forgot this. I forgot. It looked like you were lower than that. But yeah, you had this wall to cover. But anyways, the concept still applies. You did it there, though. But the movement's very important. See, now this Lucio can't deal with you because you flew away. You're good. Your pinky hurts? Well, I use toggle beam. Sorry. I don't... Did you mean beam preference on, Chen? I use just toggle beam where, like, if I press it once, my I don't have to, like, worry about my fingers holding the beams on them. But for GA, you just press your pinky once to just shift. Yeah, toggle beam's really nice. I like it.
You got this.
Nice, you stopped your GA there without flying too much. But do you see how you just kind of... Like, if I'm a Baptiste here and this is what I see, freaking Naruto over here. I'm like, oh my, my eyes as a Baptiste shoots this Mercy. And if I'm like a godlike Baptiste, I can put you down to like 50 HP right now. And you might have died. But like, the danger zone right there. You're floating, you're behind cover. You want to fly, you stop. Now you just got to back up. Like, instead of coming back, if you stop the GA flight because you didn't want to get into danger and you see the Sigma and thing coming back, you hold it here, you stop it back down here, and then you probably fly back to your Pharah, in all honesty.
Right beside you. Healing stream engaged. Enemy turret ahead. Don't let up on them. Enemy turret.
Switch to heals. You can fly, follow.
Don't waste this damage boost engaged. Enemy turret here. Heal up. My ultimate is ready.
I mean, you guys kind of win, so you can do whatever here, and you basically win this fight. You guys have like 6 versus 3 here. Okay, I'll just watch one more fight, and I pretty much got I got an idea of how your playstyle is and what you could work on. Mostly those things I listed.
I'm taking care.
Okay, find your Pharah. That's good. Your Pharah's waiting for you. You have a grab coming. Your Pharah going in. Click the heal. Now, typically with Barrage and higher ranks is that the minute most people press Barrage, they die in like... They die like 1 second after. So what most Mercies do, as far as I know, in high ranks, is they'll hold damage boost for like 0.5 seconds. So the first like 20 rockets that come out are damage boosted. And then they switch to healing because they're expecting their Pharah to take some damage immediately. This one, I think he just held damage the whole time. It's an interesting perspective, but like... Because the rockets fly out so freaking fast, just damage boosting for just a little bit at the beginning for that initial burst is really important because the target, good Pharahs and higher ranks will usually just go for that first target. As long as you get that burst kill at the beginning, you do your job. So most Mercies will just damage boost for like a little bit and then they switch to heal to make sure they stay alive and live through the whole thing if possible. Something to think about. Maybe it may not be as important now, but think about that in more Rocket Barrage scenarios. Low rank Pharahs probably missed the initial burst. Yeah, but still a good habit to get into, I guess. Or as long as you understand it and know about it, I think it'll be alright then. Alright, you do have Valkyrie. Your Pharah's doing some weird. I don't know why Pharah's not. Hello, Pharah? You pop Valk here. You just pop Valk. Ignore it. Pharah went AFK. Oh my god. Absolute ginormous gonads res. Honestly, I probably wouldn't have done that. But you didn't get punished here, so hey, more power to you. It worked out in this scenario. Yeah, there's no way that wouldn't get unpunished later. But that's the thing. You can get away with a lot more cheeky stuff. That's why when like Masters players smurf in silver, a lot of the shit they do that gets owned in GM, they just don't get punished. And they feel like it gives them that superiority complex to smurf in silver games or whatever. But like regular, actual like Masters, mid-Masters players kind of just get owned in like higher rank games, and they get frustrated, so they just go smurf in silver just to make themselves feel better. But yeah, I probably wouldn't do that. But as long as you understand that that probably wasn't the wisest thing, that's fine. You do it here specifically because you know it won't get punished. Fine. But if you notice it starts getting punished, make that adjustment. Yeah, the biggest takeaway points, definitely add more of your movement. Make yourself harder to hit. You can ask for bubble. If you ask for bubble, that's a lot safer to do. I know they're grabbed because they're bundled up, but like even if I'm grabbed in a group, like I still might have my sleep as an Ana. I turn around, someone's resing beside me, I could still cancel it, even though I'm stuck in a grab. Because I've totally done that. I'm in a grab and then they try to like do some cheeky shit around me. I still sleep them, as an example, right? But overall, just outside of that, that's just one little nitpicky thing. That's not a big deal. The biggest macro takeaway from this like actionable advice is your movement, using cover, mostly the cover thing, and then just like holding your beam out, and then check your surroundings a lot more. Use that information, like I said. Have the beam on, check the rest of your team, look back at them, look back at the rest of your team, feed yourself information, and then once you get comfortable with it, like all this new flow of information in your head, then you start learning what to relay to your team. Oh, the McCree's coming there. Oh yeah, there's someone flanking that way, etc., etc. Okay, but I hope that was valuable. Hopefully you can bring that right into your next Mercy gameplay, and just feel more comfortable with the movement. You know, get a little fancy with it. Like I said, you felt very stiff, very rigid, linear movement. Like you're like but like you watch the high tier Mercies, they're grooving. They're moving so much. They're everywhere. Because once you climb up, enemy teams will be like, their Mercy's here. And then the team looks, but the Mercy's already floating somewhere else. Oh, their Mercy's top left. And then somebody on my team responds. They look, where? I don't see her anymore because she's already moving. She's already gone. She's here, but she's not there. Then she's there, then she's there. GA's every second, right? But you're kind of just like chilling. Not really using GA if needed. You know? Just gotta get groovy with it. But that's the biggest takeaway from it. Hopefully you found that insightful. Chat will guess what rank Vario is, Tenniscrazed, and then we'll have Tenniscrazed tell us what rank they are after this. Let me get some more water because this soy sauce thing that I drank is actually affecting me now. Ellie Zhao? Sure. Most people are saying what? Gold, silver, some plat, some gold. All right, Tennis, tell us what rank you are so we can put that in the video as well. We'll move on. Are you okay? Yeah, I chugged it like an hour ago almost. 1600 silver. Haven't played since season 2. You appreciate the review. There you go. Thank you for submitting, Tenniscrazed. Hopefully we'll see you in gold